welcome back to Title Talk with Title Leap. I am James Brown, a Florida real estate attorney and founder of Title Leap.
And I'm Alexandra Nieto. I am the title manager for New Path Title. And Jim, I see that today you're not wearing a shirt and tie. What's up with that?
So that brings me to a good point. We should mention that it's May 22nd, 2020, and the reason I'm not in a shirt and tie and coat is because my dry cleaner reopened and we're all doing business for the most part as usual.
So all your clothes are at the cleaners.
Everything's at the cleaners, and the stuff that I was preserving because no one knew how long this would last is now getting fixed up for the next show.
Cool. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to do a showing safely amid the COVID crisis, certificate of approvals from the HOAs, Cyberfraud, and our money move feature, as well as our 5-cent virtual tours.
All right, safe showings, how to do this in a COVID environment. So this isn't a legal issue, but I am hearing from realtors. What we like to do is talk about this stuff. We've been receiving calls over the prior week. So several buyers and sellers called me and said the realtors showed up and they didn't have a mask and they didn't have gloves and they were uncomfortable. Now, lots of buyers and sellers are happy in that environment.
Right.
However, lots of buyers and sellers aren't. So what I've been suggesting to realtors is they prepare themselves for the lowest common denominator of,
right, the strictest policy.
Yeah. So you want to, your buyer and your seller is never going to complain you went over the top to be too thorough, but certainly I fielded enough calls to know that there are buyers and sellers that are asking me, hey, can I get a referral to another realtor? My agent just showed up and didn't have gloves, didn't have a mask. So this is what I suggest. Bring extra gloves, bring extra masks, bring extra hand sanitizer, and there's also a form that I was shared with that I think is a good form to circulate in DocuSign whenever you're going to show property, whenever you're going to be with a buyer or a seller. Get this document acknowledged. It simply states that the buyer and seller are aware that COVID is a dangerous virus, could have life-threatening implications, and that they consent to the showing knowing those facts.
So it's kind of a waiver.
Kind of a waiver.
Basically to cover yourself and make sure that nobody says, oh, I didn't know, like anybody would have to be living in a cave at this point, but I didn't know that this was a possibility that, people in the house, could give me the disease. No, everything's on paper.
And it hasn't, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Somebody's gonna die, and then the estate of that family member is probably going to file suit, and they're going to sue everybody that was in that person's path. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I can only imagine the realtors will be drug in, the brokers will be drug in, anybody who's been in contact with this person, and I don't know how these things will flesh out. But if you had this form, you could say, I'm sorry, your mom was aware of the dangers, and it could be a way to escape potential liability.
Easier, safe.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to take up a ton of time, so I love moving through this thing at a brisk pace. Certificates of approval.
Yeah, I've had, this has happened in the last 3 weeks several times now. A lot of the management companies and HOA associations have started sending out a letter after the buyer puts in their application that says, hey, you've been approved, your application has been approved. And the realtors are thinking that this is the certificate of approval that we record with the warranty deed. It is not the certificate of approval. Certificate of approval needs to be signed. Every HOA or board is a little bit different. Some of them need to be notarized. Some of them are just a regular signature, but it's a certificate that needs to be recorded with the warranty deed. So
a telltale sign of a certificate of approval could be a large space at the top with the clerk's information on one side and a recording space on the other. Doesn't have to be.
Right.
Another telltale sign could be the document is going to be signed by, and it's going to be listed, a president, a vice president, a secretary, or a treasurer of the board. Yeah.
or a notary block. Sometimes they are notarized.
And or a notary block. Yep.
So I just don't want people to they're getting confused, because now all of a sudden they're getting this pretty letter, but it's usually not signed.
Right.
That says, hey, you've been approved. That's not the same thing as a certificate of approval.
Like an attractive letterhead.
Yeah, it usually has some kind of logo of the management company, and
that would be a sure sign that it's not a certificate of approval.
Right. In doubt, email it to us as soon as you get it. We'll tell you if it's the appropriate item to be recorded or not.
Good point. If you have a Title Leap account, upload it to Title Leap, send us an instant message within Title Leap. Hey, is this a certificate of approval? We can get back to you very quickly, because literally it'll be 2 clicks, getting your message, clicking on the document, and then responding, and then you'll know whether it was a COA or an HOA approval very quickly. Next, I want to talk about something that's coming up over and over and over, cyberfraud. So I've been doing a lot of research, and I've become somewhat of a clearinghouse on all kinds of cyberfraud issues. People are texting me and calling me quite a bit lately. And so we've come up with a system inside Title Leap that we're really proud of, and it protects the realtors. The most important thing is the protection of the realtors, and not allowing or providing every means possible for the realtor to avoid liability. So what you don't want to do as an agent is, you do not want to handle the wiring instructions for a title company. Right. Tell your buyers and sellers, go directly to the title company if they can, or not if they can, to go directly to the title company and get wiring or deposit information directly from the title company. It seems like it shouldn't be that big a deal, but you cannot believe the amount of cyber fraud that's occurring, and everybody who is a victim says the same thing. The title company agents say the same thing. I never thought it would happen to me.
Right, and a lot of realtors, we understand you guys want to facilitate everything for your buyer as much as possible, and you want to feel like you're being helpful, but you can't do that to your own detriment. It is not secure for you to be giving the wiring instructions to your buyers. They really should be logging into Title Leap and getting them directly.
Tell your buyer, tell your tenant, tell your whoever, get them directly from the title company. If you do have a Title Leap account and we are the closing agent, whether we're holding escrow only or whether we're closing title, click on the dollar bill sign at the top of Title Leap. If it's not active today, it will be active in the next couple of days. That dollar bill sign, I'm sorry, I said for the realtor to click on the dollar bill sign. No, tell the buyer or the tenant, go to TitleLeap.com or NewPathTitle.com, click on the dollar bill sign at the top of the page, and they will be taken through the user journey to get the wiring instructions. We log them on our side, and then they have to call us later and confirm the numbers before we will allow the deposit. Last thing, nickel a foot virtual tours. So we have had a number of transactions that closed prior to a number of transactions that canceled at the onset of the COVID pandemic. Mm-hmm. And so we put our heads together trying to figure out a way, what can we do to help agents get back on track? We partnered with a company called Immersive Spaces. Immersive Spaces has been doing real estate photography in Palm Beach County and throughout Florida for years. They're seasoned in real estate photography. We struck a partnership with them where they are offering our agents virtual tours at 5 cents a foot.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I just priced out a job for an agent. The shoot for the Matterport came out to $85. It was a 2,200 square foot home, and the about 2,200 or so, and the digital floor plan was $15. These things have a street value over $500, $600, $700, and this is all products you guys can use to help market your properties for under $100. And we received title on 4 transactions, which were on the market for just a few days, all the same fact pattern. Buyer and buyers came from New Jersey or New York. Properties were on the home just a few days. They got virtual tours from our vendor, and the buyer never set foot.
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen, never set foot in the property.
How do they get these virtual tours?
You go to New Path Title or Title Leap and click on the 5 cent a foot virtual tour button. Can't miss it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds great for a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it's a pleasure speaking with you guys again. Stay tuned, and we can't wait to give you some more updates next Friday, and have a great week.
This video was brought to you by Title Leap. Title Leap empowers realtors and keeps buyers and sellers in the loop 24/7. You can close more deals in less time and have more time to find new business. There's no more searching through hundreds of unrelated emails and phone messages because they're all saved in our exclusive communication log. Title Leap provides a checklist and real-time status of everything the title agent does from contract to close, keeping agents and parties in the know. Title Leap provides the critical dates and automatic text and email reminders to all parties, reducing confusion and phone calls. You can get instant access to all documents now and forever, including surveys, reports, estoppels, everything. Agents and transaction managers have more time to find new business because babysitting the title company is a thing of the past.
Hey there, I'm Ashley. I'm the Digital Media and Marketing Specialist here at Title Leap. I make all of these videos, so it really means a lot to me that you're here at the end of this video. So if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that way you can get a notification every time we post a new video. But if you're not really a YouTube person, you can also see our video content on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The coronavirus and all of its effects are really turning our industry upside down, so we know how important it is to stay up to date. So make sure you follow us on our social media channels so you can see every new bit of content as it comes. Thanks.